Oh, you can't hear me, can you? There we go. Ay. I was muted. I thought I unmuted it, but not. Anyway. Didn't miss anything, so we're going to get ready to take this opening range break here. I don't really love that the price right now is between yesterday's overnight open and the current overnight open. Haven't quite hit today's. I mean, if we took a break short, we'd be right at that excuse me, that overnight open, which I don't like. Or no, that's yesterday's. All right, so this line here is the current overnight open. This dash thing here is yesterday's overnight open. Okay, well, there we go. What's our range? I guess I should check that. There's no news right away this morning. 72, so that puts us at 3570 times 5, $350 risk on 5 contracts, give or take. So it'll probably be closer to 400. Probably more than I should be taking, honestly. We'll see here. Yeah, so we're sitting right on the overnight open. Which could work out for a long if it breaks out here because... What? Why didn't the OCO cancel this guy? Don't know. Was that $500? Alright, let's go for a ride. I'm not loving this because we have really the 1 minute chart. We got kind of all this stuff going on up here. Overnight opens kind of choppy land. I mean, I should move it down below this candle so I don't get wicked out. Come on, push up. Push up. Really not liking this much. Not at all. There's the stop. Yeah, I should not have taken so much risk on that. Yikes, yikes, yikes. That actually puts my account in danger. Oh no, I have $200 in drawdown left. All right, well, we gotta take another one. They're on micros. I don't know. I think I might wait here because this area right here is like, I don't know. It's just choppy at the overnight open. That's just what it is. Switching back here to 30-second chart, I kind of want to see if there's any desire to go down here. So far, it's very indecisive. A big red close on the 5 minute chart. There's the 1 minute, here's the back to the 3 minute. It's a big old doji candle right there. That is a bummer. 500. All right, we're down to 2 contracts, so we'll see if we can make something happen here. Really not too worried. I mean, $250 a drawdown is not much, but trading micros, it's reasonable. Second 1 minute charts look very short. 35, 70, 150. I don't know. I don't know. Just settled in here. We have the daily low down here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it. Very typically, if you get a fake out of one side, it breaks through the other side. So even if we only get 50% or 75% of that move, that'd be okay. What we're doing over here. As long as 30-second and 1 minute still stay below all the MAs here. It's kind of settling down here. So if it pops up from here. I mean, the problem is if it pops up from here, I think it would have to break out of the open range, come back for a test and go. Because the red line is right at the top of that range on the shorter time frame here. So, and that's going to be some resistance. Even on the 1 minute, it's just above it. 3 minute gives us a little more room, but not much. All right, this is an inside bar. All right, so it looks like we may want to come back up, which is fine. Long wick so far on the 15-minute candle. And pushing back through the top up there. Just too much in the way right here. Red lines, we've got VWAP lines, we've got all this noise. All this noise. Now the opening range on the 1 minute chart is a 15-minute open range, so that's a little, well, it is on the 30-second chart as well. So the 3-minute chart is the only chart that I have the 3-minute open range on. Everything else is set at 15. Okay, we had a second failed attempt at the top. And back down, so. Wait and see, wait and see. Oh, the overnight open is the worst. It is just the worst. So since our drawdown's so tight right now, if I didn't have the drawdown constraints, I would probably try this again right here. And I could go one contract and see. It's wicking up there and then pulling straight back in. And straight back down. This may be a test of patience today. We do have FOMC minutes this afternoon. It's not a rate decision, I don't think. It's just minutes, so less Not quite as exciting, but and I think there's some 10 o'clock news. No, there's 8:30 news and that was it. So there's really no news this morning. It's hovering at the top of this range. I do feel like a break down lower would be the play if it did come down there, but I don't know if it's going to. All right, we're holding above the red line and the VWAP on 30-second. Flirting with VWAP on the 1 minute. All right, there finally goes, finally went. All right, we broke through the top, finally. Is it gonna hold up there? I'm gonna have to wait for a breakout and a pullback and maybe a move up. I think if there's a long wick on the bottom of this current 15-minute candle, which is good. We're coming up to 950 though, so we'll see if see what that does to us. But we kind of we're kind of flirting with this area up here. Came down, kind of took out all the London lows, almost to the bottom, almost down to yesterday's overnight open, and then straight back up. So if it decides to move up from here, that would be really nice, but I'd have to see a little bit of a pullback before we jumped into something. We're above the red line on the 1 minute chart. We have a cross of the 9:29 and 21. So looks like long might be the direction. 15-minute range is formed. Well, it will be in the next 30 seconds. Let's change my ATM strategy back to my 25-point target there. Yeah, 1 minute, nice sort of retest down there. It's at the red line though. Stochastic's overbought. Not really where I want to get long at. Do have some evaluation accounts today. We'll see maybe if I can salvage these guys, then we'll try and pass some new Apex accounts since they have a 90% off deal going right now. All right, it's respecting that green line, gold line. Since we took out this bottom, this would be tempting for a 15-minute break right here. I might try it. I'm gonna try 1 micro. Hold the bottom of this candle, so about $100 of risk. Let's just kind of see where this goes. See if we get some continuation up here. Every little bit will help. Hopefully it's not too choppy. I don't like that the stochastic is overbought, but if we stay in this overbought spot here for a few minutes, then it kind of locks in the trend a little bit. Alright, I think if we break, make it in a sell, not a sell. Buy. If we break this high, I'm gonna get in a second contract. It might just stop us out, but if it turns around here and goes higher, then that's what I want to be doing. I also want to be looking here for a reason to go short, because if there's a reason to go short, I want to get out of my long. And right now, could be setting one up. We'll see. If this wick holds. I mean, if we hold the top of this red line, then we could just be building out a little bit of a bear flag for a pop higher. We had, let's see, so let me move this out a little bit. Here's a 1-minute chart here. And there's a stop out. Well, we're just not doing very good today. All right, we gotta wait and see what this does. Turn on my OCO orders here. Let's see, what is this? I'm going to link all these charts to the same instrument in case I want to change over to in case I want to change over to NQ for passing evaluations. All right, patience is the key here. I think until we get away from this overnight open, I just don't trust much. So let's just stick to the 1-minute chart here for a second. Watch this move around. Wait for it to pick a direction here. So we definitely got faked out of a break long, which isn't entirely surprising. We're very overbought on the stochastic, which is not necessarily what you want to see if you're going long. But now it's dropped back the other direction, so let's see what happens. We're still underneath the red line. If we'd stuck to a strict red line trade, that would have been the play. Which is something I still struggle with when I have conflicting information. For some reason, I always end up taking going with the wrong set of information. If I have signals that are, one signal tells me to go short, the other signal tells me to go long, and I pick one, it's probably going to be the wrong one. All right, so we are oversold at this point on the stochastic. We have a big bullish candle, or a big bearish candle rather, on the 5-minute chart. 15-minute chart is also forming a big red candle right now, so I don't want to, not sure I want to trade against that going long. Looks like we're getting across to the 21 and the 9 with a retest there, so this is where that kind of says short. Stochastic says be cautious of shorts. So I suppose that means we should just wait and see what it decides to do. I guess that's what we'll do. Just waiting. Waiting. All right, so now here's the bounce up. See, so stochastic would have told the story here. And really, when it's ranging, the stochastic is much more easy to follow. Like you can see this range here, if you kind of charted this guy out, right? We're kind of in this channel. And if you basically would have shorted the high of the channel when it matched the stochastic, you would have been okay every time. You can see same thing with the bottom. We get really oversold. It's the bottom, goes all the way back up to the top. And this is a divergence. Right, we have a clear higher high on the chart. We have a very clear lower low. And it looks like it turns around after this red candle. So if we back it off to right there, at the close of this inside candle there, we have the confirmation with the curl down on the stochastic, and that would be your sort of confirmation, and then just kind of write it down till the stochastic gets to the bottom. Obviously this is pre-market, so it's pretty short, you know, so that would not have been a very big trade, you know, but you could have got 10 points out of it. 10 points ain't bad. All right, we're gonna try for another break of that open range. I'm really waiting for a push up so we can get all the EMAs kind of together and then a pullback. That's what we're looking for. All right, now we're getting a strong push up. I'm kind of curious to see if we get to the 100% level on this 3-minute chart, which we are about there. That's yesterday's high of day that we just tapped. If we can get another little push. So the lesson here is on this trade, if I had scaled appropriately so that I could have had my stop below this candle that wicked me in and just trailed the bottom of the candles until we got to that 50% and then held that 50% as my stop loss, then it would have worked out. But that would have been a pretty big, that was a pretty big, you know, 70 points. You know, I probably would have only wanted to do maybe 2 contracts at that point. And there we tapped it. So it was a failure in the fact that the 50%, we got stopped out of that 50% mark, which that's my trade plan. So there's no shame in that at all. The question on this is where do you re-enter if you do at all? And again, once we get a close outside, that's pretty strong, but it just wicked back inside. So just choppy action. And again, it's choppy action at the overnight open. You expect that. That is not, and that's what I said, you know, coming into it, that I didn't like it. So really the best answer probably would have been just to wait, because it's just choppy and you expect it to be. Wait for something better. All right, we got a nice push up here. So if we get a pullback, a little bear flag kind of action down here to the green line or the blue line, then be pretty happy with that. You see in this range, stochastic played oversold down here, and that was the bottom, and then it turned around. So certainly don't want to get long up here. Getting short would be it would just be a gamble. For some reason, this music makes me feel like I'm sitting, I don't know, in the Italian countryside or something. Eating lunch, just relaxing. Never done that before, but for some reason, that's what this music makes me think of, like a James Bond movie or I don't know, some kind of movie where they're in the countryside in Europe. Man, that was quite the push out there. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, we got a break, a failed breakout, a nice test back to the midline of the 15-minute open range, and then poop, straight back up. Straight back up. So here we are, about to take out the high of day. It really didn't give any indication that it was going up there. This one little candle hesitation and then boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. I mean, from here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row with one little very indecisive red candle in the middle. So here we are. Stochastic is basically as topped out as you can get. If we got a wick up with a down closed candle, I would short that. But I will not short an inside bar on a strong uptrend because that is not enough for me. Oh man, this is so frustrating on these accounts. Been up and down and up and down and up and down. Now we're down again. But that's how it goes. Okay, we got to break above that 1 minute inside bar, pushing up. Is he gonna get that overnight or that daily high? If we were to leave that high of day and come back, I would think that would be added confidence in taking a long after a pullback, but I mean, that line on this chart is at, let's see, 962.50. And the high of this candle is 60 even. So literally 2.5 points. 2.5 points away. About the same distance. It looks about the same on the regular NQ chart. There we go. There's a tap of that high of day. This is where if we were to get a strong reaction with the down close candle right here, I would short it. Otherwise, it's just wait and see. I mean, if we break out of this high, it's possible it shoots up here to, I don't know, you got 25,000 right up here, which is kind of a nice even round number. We know markets like those. we've got a previous 15-minute candle kind of high from, what, the 13th? That's right there too, so that would be a level of interest. I think that could be a magnet up there. It's not really expanding out of there though, so alright, I'm gonna change the, just because I want to see this, I'm gonna change the open range on my 30-second chart to the 3-minute. So 31 to 33, 33. Okay, so yeah, on the 30-second chart, I was kind of watching this before to see if I could kind of dial in entries a little bit. Nope, there we got a pop up to the 50, up to, well, hit 25,000 on NQ. So there we go. There it is on MNQ. Anyway, you know, we have this push up, we have a little fake out, and if you were looking for an opportunity to break out of this opening range, it looks like, you know, you get a little bit of breakout here and a pullback, and then it goes higher. Something I'm going to keep an eye on, because if I can get more precise entries versus just taking a breakout, I think that's probably, I want to see if that gives higher probability entries, because you can get faked out. You know, sometimes these, you know, these arbitrary ranges that we set don't mean a whole lot, and if it decides to channel, if it decides to just range in that area, you end up getting faked out a lot. So it either works or it just chops you up and kills you. So the trick is, how do you avoid being chopped up and fed to the sharks? All right, well, there we go. We're moving now. Holy cow. Yeah, it's not going to give us an opportunity, is it? It's going to go. All right, and then kind of the next target area I have up here is 2059. Do I have a line over here? I don't. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Alright, so my next kind of area of interest would be this guy here. See, once we break above this level, there's not much here until we get up to like this area. So let's see. Yeah, there's like a bunch of, this is kind of consolidation area. So I'm gonna put a line right there. This is kind of a zone. I wonder if, let's try this. I don't normally do this. I'm gonna try something. What's the region? I think this is what I want. I'm gonna draw this region out with this candle here. Ooh, is that ugly or what? Okay, let's try that out. So those are kind of my next areas of interest as we shoot up here, which you can see we're about there. Go back to the 3-minute, 1 minute. Come on, some kind of a pullback would be really, really, really good. The longer the longer this runs up, though, the more of a pullback I'm going to need. Because that line up there is really just, it's not a precise level, it's just, you know, that's where there was a reaction before. So something I want to watch. Okay, maybe this is the pullback. Building out a nice wick on the 5-minute candle. 15-minute candle is still very, very bullish. Good. I just don't want to get faked into taking a long right up here at the top and have it go up. Well, I guess that's 20 points. Wow, that's kind of a big... I've been watching the candle range. Alright, so we have about 20 points from like the top of this candle to the top of the range. So that's space for sure for something to happen. One more minute till 5-minute candle close. It's currently red with a big top wick. And continuing lower. Alright, this is a nice steady pullback, so I think I might give this a shot with 1 micro. You know, after this, I mean, this is a strong upward trend, so either just continues from here or it chops here for a while. I mean, the higher probability is a pullback to like the gold line area. But this is a very strong trend, so. I'm gonna go ahead and put a order there at the break of that last candle, especially since it's hesitating and pulled down a little bit. That's better than having it just push straight up, I think. Stochastic is still a little bit higher than I really would like it to be, but very strong uptrend, so we're gonna go with that. Tested down into this gap, tested our VWAP standard deviation line. Didn't quite touch the green line, but came very, very close. And that's the first touch of the green line in, or attempt at least, in a while. Well, 15 minutes. Alright, a little hesitation. Oh, there we go. Well, let's see. Be very sad if I get sort of faked out of this. See, and that's exactly the reaction I did not want. I did not want to sort of get entered in and then have it pull straight back. That's not great. Is this a FOMO trade trying to get in this trend? Maybe. Alright, wait for a deeper pullback. Definitely not going short. That's certainly not what we want to do. Building a nice little bear flag here. And we got another wick lower with the reaction up. So I think if we break above this candle, it's probably, what, 28? If it breaks above there, I think we go long. Actually, if this candle body closes above that prior one, even if it doesn't break the high. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're gonna give this another shot. This could be the last trade in these accounts. Let's see if we can get a little bit out of this one candle, or this one micro contract. All right, we're getting a little hesitation there. Oh yes, it's pushing up. There we go. This music's gonna put me to sleep. I have to switch it up. All right, come on, see if we can at least get up to this guy up here. I'm gonna tighten up my stop a little bit just because I don't have much room on these accounts, so we're gonna try and be cautious. Yeah, so 950 really ran, didn't it? I mean, after this consolidation, 950 hit, we got the pullback into 950, and then straight up we go. Yeah, a little hesitation there. See if we can get a pop up. We got a strong close on the 15-minute candle. Strong close on the 5-minute candle. So I would expect a little bit of a pullback right here. We've got the green line. Yeah, let's got the green line protecting us here. Let's get rid of that trend guy there. All right, there's the pop. There we go. All right, now does it hold up here? Kind of want to see it push through. We have to break even after we pop that top, because I don't want to have it just rip back and fall for some reason. If this did turn around right here, this would be a divergence on this, a stochastic divergence short, so something I kind of want to keep an eye on. Although, in such a strong uptrend, I think I'm going to bet on the trend. There we go. All right. Move up a little bit on the stop, lock in some profits. I mean, doesn't feel like much, 50, 60 bucks, but when your accounts are in the danger zone, every little bit helps. Yeah, this strong upward trend. All right, well, good solid up close. See if we can. How far can it go? I don't know. Can it reach up into this area? I think it can. I just don't know if it can go there from here. We already got a long push. We haven't had much of a pullback, so at some point I would expect it to see it kind of drop back down into here and then head higher, but 30-second chart doesn't really tell us anything. I'm going to leave my stop underneath this candle because that's a strong up close and we broke the top of it. So if it were to come back down here, I don't think it probably comes back further. So I don't know if I think I want to leave it there for now. Yeah, ES is kind of struggling a little bit up here, as is NQ. Retest my little line there. Okay. Didn't stop me out yet. All right, stopped out. All right, made a little bit. We made a little bit, we'll take it. A little annoyed I got sort of stopped out on the first one and had to re-enter, but it is what it is. What time is it? 10:15. Well, should we switch over to try and pass some accounts? Maybe that's what I need to do. All right, let me get my trade copier switched up here. Oops, where'd it go? Okay. Switch to 79. Yeah, we're gonna go to NQ for the passing of accounts. So 79. Go to NQ. Okay. 5 contracts. All right, strong upward trend. Which it kind of We have a much bigger on the ES 5-minute wick than we do on the NQ 5-minute wick, so it seems like NQ is a little more bullish at the moment than ES is. All right, so 5 contracts on $3,000. Let me do some quick math. Let's see, we need $3,000 divided by 5 is $600 per contract is 30 points. Times 4 is 120 ticks. We'll add 1 tick for commissions. 121. So we need, what did I say, 30 points? All right, so what would be ideal is if we had 30 points of range inside of, we only have 15 points to the top of, you know, the current high of day. So I think I'm gonna wait a minute, see if something a little bit better sets up. All right, if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I will be right back. Okay, back down. All right, this magic little line here seems to be providing a little bit of resistance. Stochastics aren't really confirming anything at this point. We are in a strong uptrend still. So at this point, the question is how much of a pullback before we continue higher, I think. Unless we get, I mean, if we were to get kind of below this wick and build out a bear flag, that could be another short, but right now we have lower highs. Let's see if we can get something of a pullback. NQ's pulling back, or well, obviously NQ. ES is pulling back too, so, and ES is pulling back a little more aggressively than NQ. I'm gonna kind of watch ES, and if ES turns around and starts to move higher, NQ might start to accelerate up. So if we get a nice pullback into the blue line, I think that would be best case scenario. That's a nice reaction on that candle, that last candle, except it doesn't go below this previous low, which makes me a little cautious. The next news event of any type is a Fed speaker at noon. Bowman. So we'll see. Alright, so that was a strong green close. ES is coming back up. Let's give it a try. 5 contracts, see if we can get a pop up there. When I do these, they're kind of all or nothing. A little choppy, kind of the top of this range, so this could be really good or really bad. I think if we get a pop up here, that could go in our favor. The only other thing I'm thinking is, we'll see, if we pop out of this high and it just kind of holds, I might just take my profits and look for another entry, maybe for the second half of the account or something like that. But we'll see. All right, let's do this. What's 22 times 4? 22 times 4 is 88. I'm gonna trail 88 ticks. Now I can get an idea of where my account blow up. That kind of keeps track of the trailing drawdown a little bit. Really need ES to kind of accelerate out of this high here, and just may not want to do it yet. Nope. Goodness. And then I might look to bell on this early to save for a better opportunity. Come on, can you get a little push up there? Nope. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to. Alright, we're gonna move our stop up. Might get stopped out of this one. But we'll be able to take a second stab at it, so that's all that really matters. All right, so that didn't work. Let's see where we're at. All right, we have 822 in drawdown left on these guys. See them right here. So let's see what happens here. I think I'm gonna lower my, well, no. Yeah, let's go down to 3 contracts. Still long, I'm still looking for a long, I just doesn't seem like it's ready to go there quite yet. Again, we are passing, this is evaluation passing mode right now. An ideal pullback would be a pullback to the gold line, so that's kind of what I'm hoping to see here. 3-minute chart, we consolidated for 5 candles in a row and then pulled back. So we're pulling back into this little gap here. See if this holds again. It's coming into it with some energy, so I don't know. Might break. All right, stochastic is back into very oversold territory. So definitely paying attention to this right now. Yeah. Well, 3-minute did not invert that gap for whatever that's worth. Just being patient, waiting for something. All right, it's kind of slowing down right here. We have 14 seconds left on the current 5-minute candle, which is closing bearish, and then we're 10 minutes into the 15-minute candle, which is currently bearish. We'll see. Still a lot of time left on that guy, though. This is a new 5-minute candle open. We'll see if this, well, this is looking good. This is looking good. I think if we break that high, I might jump in and see where she goes. Maybe this is it. I mean, we're pushing straight back up into this resistance, so maybe not great. I'm basically banking on the fact that we've been slowly working our way down, and then we're oversold down here. We don't have any kind of divergence confirmation, but slow push down with a pop up. See if we can't get something out of that. This stops me out here. The accounts will be blown. We'll have to try another batch. Maybe try another batch tomorrow. I'm not sure. Oh, goodness. Don't really like that hesitation. There was no follow through right there, so we'll see. Building out a, oh, there they go. Building out a bear flag on the 5 minute. So I think this does go up, but maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Might have to wait till the 1050 algorithm. Just consolidate here for a while, and then maybe at 1050 we go somewhere. So let's switch back to micros. Readjust the trade copier. We'll go back to, just in case an opportunity presents itself. And 87. There we go. Oh, goodness. I mean, we are coming up from there. It's just been super slow, right? Beautiful bear flag on ES's 5 minute chart. Looks like it's about ready to break. ES pushes up. I think NQ could follow. I'm going to jump in. A little momentum, see if we can get a little pop up here. Really want to see this high of day be broken. Alright, ES finished really strongly on the 5 minute chart. NQ also had a strong 5 minute candle. With 5 minutes left on the 15 minute candle for NQ currently, we have a long bottom wick. So I'd love to see this push up a little bit here. Don't think I'm gonna give it that much of a stop though. Probably go just below these guys. There's the push. There's the push. All right, dude. Okay, let's go. See if we can break through this top. All right, so there's the high. That's probably a reasonable place to take profit. But I want to see if it can keep going. NQ did not hit its high yet, so I think there could still be some room. All right, ES is approaching it, approaching it, approaching it. See, that was the move I was looking for on that last trade on those evals. Just didn't have enough of a drawdown for the size that I went in with. All right, ES took out the top. NQ's still hesitating, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can just get it right there. All right. Slowly but surely, I suppose. There we go. Yeah, ES hit it and then wicked straight back down. So actually, May, that's VWAP line. That's the high a day. It's an overbought stochastic. Trying to decide if I want to short this. No, yes, it's still pushing. Yes, push back up there. All right, there's the pullback. That's the kind of reaction I was expecting to see. And now we got a long wick on the top of that 5-minute candle. See if the EMAs hold. If we get a close below those EMAs, I think we could be in for some more downside. I mean, that's technically a green line entry right there. It's just a big wick on the current, big top wick on that current 5-minute candle, so. You play around right here at the high. I think I might. Last candle 16 ticks, that's $30 risk. Give it a chance, see if it can hit that high again. $34. Yeah, give it a shot. Give it a shot. You know what? I'm only in one account. I didn't trade, but I changed my trade copier to MNQ. Oh well. I mean, I guess something in one account's better than nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and kill it though. So I don't know why that account was doing so much better than the other ones. Might have got lucky on that one. Gonna order back here because we would still be in this. It hasn't hit the stop loss yet, so if it does go back up here, I will get back in. This time, hopefully, with all the accounts. The wick's down here, and there we go. All right, there's kind of the pop I wanted. See if it gets some follow through. So 15 points is right at the top of that range. All right, move to break even just to be safe. See if it can, come on. Pull 30 bucks up there. Can do it. Actually, I'm gonna leave the stop loss below this candle because let's see if we can get a little follow through up here. What is does a 30-second chart look like? Alright, see if I can push up there. Let's go. Go. Alright, we will move to break even now, because if it comes back down here, it's probably going to come further. Don't really want to lose any money on the trade. Yeah, we are in everything, so that's good. Yeah, okay. That's okay. Didn't want to go anywhere. Can't make it. Can't make the market go where we want it to go. Yeah, it's just super choppy right here. Not an area where I historically... Oh, and there it goes. There's the pop. Fine. Be that way. Just playing around at the top of... Playing around in this daily high here for a while. Who knows? Who knows? We got a really nice divergence or something on a candle with a long wick that closed on its low, came up here, got rejected down. Then I would look at going short. I mean, this is kind of a divergence right here. We have a higher high. We have a lower low. The trick is we're on a very strong uptrend still, so that lowers the likelihood that the divergence plays out. But if you did take a short up here, which, oof, you know what? I think I'm gonna try it because we're close enough that $25 of risk can probably manage that, and then see if it rejects down, and if the stochastic does pull all the way back down to the 20, then that's where we would close the trade at. Oh no, I want micro. Maybe I should just take my 20 or 50 bucks. Be glad for it. Alright, there's the... Alright, does the green line hold? Or do we get some kind of a push here? There we go. I think we're going to stop down for break even on this one. We're still just holding these highs. Holding up here. Maybe. Alright. Two good little bearish candles there. And ES is pulling back too. Back to my little line there. If it breaks that line, we could have more downsides. Let's see. But if it holds, it holds. Move our stop a little bit, lock in $11. There we go. Stochastic hasn't quite got there to the oversold level yet, but got a long wick on that candle. That's not good. That's not what you want to see. See if it can give a little push down here. move my stop here because if that wicked above that candle, that could be looked at as an entry long. So that's where I would want to get out, obviously. That's probably where we're going to get stopped out if I had to guess. All right, more wiki action. Ooh. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. No, ES is holding right here. And Q's holding right here. Inside bar with a long bottom wick. I don't love it. There we go. All right, well, we got stopped out for a little bit of profit there. We're working our way back up ever so slowly. Yep, see there's that would have been the long entry there, so that's why I wanted to get out if it broke that level. Yeah. And back down. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in on a continuation on this to the upside. See if we get a pop. If not, you know, it's 30. I'm gonna put down here. So $37 a risk. See if we can claw back a little bit here. Got strong green candle closures on the 5-minute charts. NQ's is a little bit stronger than ES's. 50-minute candles pushing up. There we go. See, ES is actually above this high right now. Above the high of day here. I'm more or less looking at this as if, you know, I'm waiting. If it pops up, I want to be in that move, right? I'm not necessarily looking for the little gains along the way. I'm looking for, you know, if it actually gets a impulsive kind of move up, that's where I want to try and sort of capitalize if I can. It's just not really getting a lot of momentum. Every time it kind of breaks this top, it just sort of holds there. So it's not like there's a lot of stops up here getting run. There's no liquidity grabs going on. We're just kind of grinding higher. Well, stochastic is very, very overbought. So we'll go ahead and take it there. All right, we have 4 more minutes in the session. 4 more minutes, and then we will call it good for the session. Very red day today. I'll have to do an official total, but it's like 622 per account, so 622 times 6, 37, 32-ish. So that's a little disappointing, but the mistake today was over leveraging on that breakout trade. I should not have been in 5 contracts with the accounts where they were at. I didn't realize, I mean, I looked at it, but I guess it didn't sort of connect how big the range was. If the range was smaller, it would have been fine. Yeah, 100, well, that's the 15-minute range. Where's the 3-minute range? Just go back here and recap a little bit. Oops. Where am I at? Oh my gosh. There we go. So 73, so what, 30, so say 40 points, you know, $80 a contract times 5, $400. You know, half of your drawdown on one trade probably isn't a good strategy for long-term success. So that was the misstep today, but the trade, I mean, the trade was valid. The only lesson I think from the trade conditions was that this overnight open is just messy, so you're better off just waiting, right? So maybe don't take a breakout if the open range goes right, or if the overnight open goes right through the middle of that open range. That's maybe the lesson here. I mean, it could work, but the likelihood the price chops at that level is high, and that's clearly what it did. Even though it did break higher, but it just moved too much, and I couldn't stay in it. So that is what it is. We have 2 more minutes here, but I don't see anything else setting up here in the next 2 minutes. So I think we'll call it a day here. And trade safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.